Hello everyone, it's Oliver Harper here and I'm back with Brad Watson. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much.
Excellent. Now it's October and it's the horror season and Brad is joining me today to discuss A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 1984 classic. Now if you wish to sync this commentary with your own copy of the film, put the timestamp to 0 and press play now.
The old new line.
I love that. So it's like exploitation kind of logo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what they were really.
Yeah, they were distributors. They didn't make movies, did they?
This film made them as a production entity, and a
it's the house that Freddie built. They always say about New Line.
Yep, exactly.
It's interesting how it starts with the 185 frame kind of shrunk down into this kind of very small window.
Yeah.
With the text below, with the credits. It's actually something you don't see that often in movies.
No.
I suppose this is his origin story, how he made his glove.
Yeah, how he made the claws. And I think the whole idea of the claws is that it's. I think Wes Craven was thinking of what is the most primeval weapon. The most primeval weapon is claws from a bear or something. Creature's claws were the original slasher things.
I do think that sort of synth sound, because it sounds like someone's farting on a synth.
Yeah.
But
just sampled.
The Elm Street has, like Halloween and even The Exorcist, have a sort of kind of nursery rhyme kind of theme going on. There's the melody as well with the kids singing that song 1, 2, 3,
which he uses in the score, the chords of that blend, 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 a lot. I think it was actually Heather's boyfriend that came up with that tune.
Was it?
Yeah.
Now, Brett, how did you first become aware of this movie? Was it something you grew up on? You rented?
Yeah, I grew up with this film. I grew up my initial sort of knowledge of this film was as a tiny kid, first seeing the poster on a bus stop, and in the poster where you had the houses, you had
the landscape ones, the UK quads,
and you had Nancy's face, and then you just had the silhouette of Freddy Krueger with his claw coming out at you. And it's kind of one of the first images I kind of remember in my head of seeing it and thinking to myself, what is that? Who is that? What, and suddenly thinking, oh my God, what goes on in the cinema when people go and watch this movie? What is it? And it just intrigued me so much.
But the UK poster was done by Graham Humphreys.
Yeah, well, exactly. I was able to, because he's done some work for me, and I was able to tell him that when I first met him. So I think that's how I persuaded him to do stuff for me. I was like, dude, your UK Nightmare on Elm Street poster was one of my first images of a film being too scary for me to go and see as a kid. I was like, I can't go and see this. But then my sister, who's a little bit older than me, she saw this in the cinema. So it's the really weird sound there. The like babies crying or is it sheep?
It's like there's heavy breathing as well.
Yeah. That's a classic moment. Nice wake up in bed to a wide angle lens. But so then my sister who was older than me, she used to see all these films, obviously before I did. And then when they come out on video, she would go and hire them out and make me watch them. And so I remember my nan and granddad were over babysitting me on a Friday night, and my sister turned up and she had it, and so we all sat and watched it.
Because with my family, because I've got an older sister as well. I mean, that was my sort of window into seeing horror movies, generally through kind of sneaking in or trying to watch these films when my dad was unaware. My dad would usually be the first to sort of put his foot down and say, no, you can't watch this. And it's sort of my old story of being exposed to RoboCop.
Yeah.
But the Elm Street films were the movies that she rented when she had sleepovers for parties and stuff, and
Yeah.
all her friends they'll often choose an Elm Street movie, and it wouldn't be the first one.
Right.
I think because by 1990, the first one would probably be a worn-out VHS tape. It wouldn't be the one to rent anymore. It would be it would be Elm Street 5 or whatever, or 6.
Yeah.
And I think it was number 6 actually, with the 3D glasses. So that was out.
So the one with Roseanne Barr in it.
Yeah. Those were big cameos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so she never rented like the Friday the 13th movies or the Halloween ones. It was always Elm Street was the ones. I think Elm Street series were pretty much the biggest ones out of that sort of 80s decade.
Yeah.
Where the Halloween and sort of had this kind of weird. Never really. It's diminishing returns, wasn't it? Of all these sequels, and especially the Friday the 13th ones as well. They were. Well, these were generally big hitters on the big screen, where the other two just didn't really capture the box office as well as successfully were. And I'm sure the producers were thinking, well, okay, he made 15 minutes on the big screen, but hey, it's going to be a massive hit on VHS.
Yeah.
Where Elm Street films were very successful and became part of pop culture.
Yeah.
You know, Freddy is kind of in this it's alluded to he's a child murderer, but also molested these children, whatever. But this character became popular with kids. It's just bizarre. And, Wes Craven was always at the time, God rest his soul, was always just kind of shocked how he became this kind of cultural
this
image,
pop culture icon for young kids.
Yeah,
but
it's out to kill you.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, there's an interesting discussion to have there, and it all comes into a lot of things about taste and about what you can do and what you shouldn't do. The whole, like you say, the fact is it's in the subtext that, well, I mean, and I say the very, very obvious subtext that he was a child molester, but they never really refer to that. He's a child murderer as far as everyone's concerned, but what that really means. But they don't ever really completely go there, and then
I think they go there with the remake.
This is it. I'm using the remake as a comparison because they do go there with the remake, but then also with the remake, the design of Freddy, he looks much more realistically like a burn victim. Whereas in this, it's the same story. He was burnt alive and all that stuff, but his burnt skin and the face that he's left with doesn't look like an actual burn victim. He just looks like a monster. And because the makeup designer said that he based a lot of it on actual pepperoni pizza that he was eating. So you're in this realm now where you're dealing with horror and you're dealing with nasty stuff, and you've got this character who's a nasty, basically is a child molester who was burnt alive. But he really is just a movie monster in this, with that as the rough backstory. Whereas in the remake, you look at him and you're like, well, that's a burn victim guy, and they go fully on with the child molesting thing, and it sort of, for me, it's like it shows where people's line of taste has gone a bit skew-if, where they think that's how you make a fun horror film. It's not how you make a fun horror film. You make a fun horror film with a character like Freddy Krueger, who we know represents everything that's dark and evil about that a man could be, but he's designed in a way that he's really just a movie monster, just an iconic looking, slasher monster guy. You don't watch him going, oh look, quick, the child molester's coming after you who was burnt alive. Freddy Krueger's coming after you.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the remake. I mean, there's a lot else wrong with the remake as well. But I think that when they decide to go, whoa, let's go a bit more realistic with this. It's like, well, no, now you're putting it into the realms of bad taste, and I can't have fun with this.
No, that's the unfortunate thing when they sort of do these kind of remakes of the horror films, that where they try and push the realism as much as possible, but then it kind of borders into bad taste. And there was that sort of, because I think it was it Platinum Dunes who produced a little bunch of remakes, like Friday the 13th one and Texas
right,
Chainsaw Massacre. And I watched Friday the 13th one recently, actually. It was quite entertaining. It's basically kind of a softcore porn mixed with horror, which is kind of be expected, I suppose, with the slasher genre. Lots of tits everywhere. And I think the Elm Street one was probably the worst at the bunch in terms of sort of audience feedback. But obviously, we haven't pointed out Johnny Depp and his kind of first screen role
absolutely, yeah. There he is.
Poofy
Captain
hair.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. I think Wes Craven said his daughter said, "Oh, he's really, really attractive. You've got to put him in it."
Yeah, he was down to two other guys, and he didn't. And he thought that Johnny Depp was too sort of thin and pasty looking. That girls wouldn't like.
Rake
him.
thin in this, isn't he?
But his daughter said, "No, he's gorgeous."
Well, Johnny kept doubting his own abilities as an actor. He kept saying, "Oh, is this a good take? Is this any good?" And he's like, "No, it's fine. It's great." Wes said, because Wes. I think with all horror directors and even the guys who play the character of the monster are always perceived as kind of nasty people. But when in reality, Wes Craven was this softly
Wes
spoken,
Craven's like one of the
man.
nicest, gentlest guys going.
Yeah. Because he had also written and directed the Last House on
the Left.
And what was the other one?
And
Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes. Yeah.
Hills Have Eyes, yeah. And I think I'm sure he had no intentions to sort of go out to be a horror filmmaker. I think it kind of fell into that.
Yeah, no, I think he did, and he tried to get out of it as well a few times.
The weird thing is saying he tried to get out of it. He was offered by Canon Films to direct Superman 4. How weird is that? That would have been bonkers.
Wow. That would have I did not know that.
That would have been amazing. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh. No! I'm imagining all sorts of things now.
But this is like I suppose actually with the recent the Paranormal Activity films where you're in those movies that they're attacked in their sleep, and this also plays on that heavily where you're at your most weakest when you're in bed alone, and then it's getting you in your dreams as well.
You're literally at his mercy. There's nothing you can do. But
that terrifies teenagers.
Yeah, yeah, totally. But the funny thing is I think that you I was around at the time, but I was really young. But I think that the slasher stuff was starting to wane a bit. This completely reinvigorated it because it was such. And again, I think it's something that people, you could never appreciate this unless you were around at the time. But how original this idea was, and how intensely kind of straight to the point, scary. Just the concept is, and you'd never really had anything like this.
No,
and it was so just the idea was genuinely terrifying. Let alone what you were then watching happening on the screen. So you were at this height of a scare factor all the way through it, just because of the nature of what it is.
Yeah.
Because it just gets to a real primal fear. It's almost like Jaws, really. As in it just tapped into something everyone in all cultures gets.
Yes.
As a horror concept.
Because Wes Craven said he'd based the story around people who die in their sleep. It's an article he read in the paper where these individuals, these men who were having horrible nightmares, so decided not to sleep, and they were so exhausted they eventually did fall asleep, but then they woke up screaming and died.
Yeah,
and their cause of death was unknown.
Yeah,
they died due to this nightmare.
Yeah.
And then
because I think one of those guys was actually they found that he was ingesting pure coffee, pure which is done in this
she has those tablets, doesn't she?
Yeah,
and she has this coffee making machine in her bedroom. Just get instant coffee.
I know,
put in a flask.
But again, that is another aspect to this of that it taps into, as in all the adults are wrong and won't listen to the kids. And I don't think. I'm sure that's a concept that had been done before, but I don't think it quite struck the chord that it did in this until now, where you are.
Sorry to interrupt you. This is one of the most impressive sequences.
So good
for like a $10, basically using a bit of spandex.
Yeah,
and you create this. It's all within camera. It looks
Look at that.
Incredible.
That's the way it's lit.
The lighting is really something special.
Yeah, and it's such an image. Such a cool image.
Yeah, that would terrify people back in '84.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah. Right now, everyone's just like losing their minds. But it was. But that whole thing where the adults kind of doom their kids, they won't, and because you're also seeing it from the adults' point of view. Of course, the kids are just being silly. You know, of course, you know. They're going mad because they're not sleeping, so go to sleep. You know, you get that, but you also like no, seriously, we know the kids are telling the truth, and now you're making them go to sleep. You are signing their death warrant by doing that. You know, and it really, and that frustration as well it adds to that fear, and sort of feeds into it. So it becomes this kind of feedback loop of two types of fear.
But also because that was Halloween had really. In '78, had very much put the slasher genre on the map. It brought on those familiar tropes as well.
Yep.
And this borrows from that, but also because it's taking a great concept or themes, as it were, and twisting it, doing its own original thing with it. And that's what film's been doing for ages. That's the ones that succeed, the ones that fall aside.
Yep.
That just do basic carbon copies.
Yep.
And everyone thought that, with Halloween. And once they knew this film cost $300,000 or it was a cheap movie, I thought we can do the same. But it's not just copying that's going to make you success. It's the talent behind the camera and in front of the camera that make it work. And Wes Craven here, for a film that was just cost over $1 million, as we'll see as the film progresses, the visual effects are incredible for what they've managed to achieve. And there's hardly any optical stuff. There's only a couple of things we walk through.
Here we have Mr. Marionette Arms.
Yeah, it's always a little bit funny, isn't it? It's never.
But it just works with the weirdness. And look at that.
They hide his face a lot in this. I watching it again. They really, in the sequels, they really actually have a lot more light on the makeup.
Yeah.
On his face.
In the sequels you
He's
see
in
him
shadow a lot
fully.
in this.
In this you really don't get a proper, real look at him.
And he's. I think his posture's a lot different, and he's a little like some scenes where he's kind of. It's like the weight of the glove is really heavy, so his kind of shoulders are kind of at an angle.
Yeah. But this is a great trope of the classic boogeyman. Really, is like he's not just out to kill you. He wants to scare you first.
Yeah.
He takes joy in the scare.
That's what gives him his strength, though, isn't it? As we sort of find out.
Yeah.
This bit's amazing, actually, because when she gets dragged out, you can't see the wire either. They've done a good job.
This is pretty spectacular. And again, like you say, for what is a relatively low budget movie, they build this whole set on a revolve. That's.
I think a lot of people who worked on this had to, work for less than their regular rates. Really.
This was crazy.
Because he would have had to been pretty locked off.
He'd be strapped down.
Yeah.
So it's kind of taking the. Because they've done this in Poltergeist.
Yes, they had. Yeah, with the mum, the third act, wasn't it?
Yeah. But to have him in the foreground in that shot, is a great way of adding to the illusion. It's horrendous.
They made him cut a scene Wes Craven, the MPAA, when she fell onto the bed and blood went.
Right, yeah.
He said it was horrible trying to edit this movie down to appease the MPAA. Just a tiny little edits here and there that kind of do take away some of the punch of the scenes.
The viscerality of it. But last time I actually properly watched this movie all the way through was actually last year at Halloween. We went to a drive-in showing down the road from me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it was 4 of us in my car. We all just blanketed it up, hot dogs, popcorn, watching this on a drive-in on Halloween night. I mean, that's come on. That's what life's all about, isn't it?
Hot box in your car.
Yeah.
Hot dog smell and popcorn on fire.
Yeah, marvellous.
Now her mother, I apologise, I can't remember her name at the moment. She was Oscar nominated for her performance in Nashville.
That's right.
From
Yeah.
75, I think it was. But her performance in this is a little bit hammy. It feels a little bit too choreographed with her delivery.
I think she's trying to play it like perpetually drunk, isn't she?
Yeah. And her makeup doesn't really help. Her makeup just makes her look shiny and kind of I don't know. It's always the 80s thing, isn't it, with the makeup design and the hair.
Although you got, and I believe John Saxon had a variety of wigs.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That he presented to Wes Craven.
Yeah. Something sort of briefcase with his wigs.
Yeah, exactly. Which one do you prefer? Which wig should I be wearing? Do you think?
John Saxon, for me, he's from Enter the Dragon, as I always remember him from.
No, absolutely. Well, yeah. Well, for me, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Oh yeah, Battle Beyond the Stars. My choice is cooler. But this I suppose to this series was the Halloween's Donald Pleasance with Dr. Loomis. He was John Saxon with a reoccurring kind of character.
Yeah.
But we kind of both figures of authority, but obviously different characters. On paper.
He turns up again in the third one, doesn't he?
Yes, and he's in A New Nightmare.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Which is the sort of very clever return of Wes Craven and doing a spin on it and blending it with reality.
That film was a real, risk.
Oh yeah.
That was a real clever. I don't know if it was
appreciated more over time.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't know if it's 100% successful, but I love what it was trying to do.
I think Wes Craven had some involvement with the third one, didn't he? I think he had some sort of story credit.
I think he wrote
Chuck Russell.
I think he co-wrote the script. I think, but he didn't do the second one because.
We didn't. Wes always thought that this should be a standalone film. Didn't want to do a sequel. Yeah. But because Bob Shaye had kind of had fun in this movie, helped him get off the ground, he's going to try and leave it open for a sequel. Instead of having the ending.
Well, I think they argued a lot over the ending.
Oh yeah. Sort of shot multiple endings. Didn't
they?
I always thought this guy was the chap from Weird Science, but that's the actor who's in Elm Street 2.
Right,
the guy in Weird Science with Robert Downey.
Robert Downey Jr.'s mate.
They look very similar, so...
Yeah.
I do like how her hair starts turning grey and white with the, sort of the scales, like very much the ash kind of thing in Evil Dead 2. He sees the monster, he just goes grey. Yeah. But it's like Halloween, you've got this very sort of domestic paradise going on where it's the classic look of the sort of the family values of America. Yeah, the street where everything seems normal. Everyone seems happy. Everyone's happy with their front garden. Everything's clean.
Well,
and tidy.
This was a period.
Is this? It's all a front, I suppose. It's kind of it's all.
This is a period where a lot of horror filmmakers were they wanted to dismantle that ideal, and which is why like as you say, a lot of movies of this era are set in that, and the horror comes to it's not the kids going to the haunted house anymore. It's the haunted house coming to the neighborhood. Yeah, and so there's nothing you can do.
Well, it's like where no one really wants to help each other as well. Like, one should trust one's neighbours, everyone should be friends, but everyone's kind of ignoring each other, so to speak. Yeah. And, she's in a bunch of films, but I always remember her in Something About Mary as the overly tanned lady gets her tits out.
That's right, yes.
Things and
all right, this is where he starts whispering, reading from Hamlet, and he starts reading it really slowly.
Yeah, she falls asleep. Yeah, he's got a droning, boring voice that puts people to sleep. But it's actually a great moment here when she sees her friend coming up the body bag, which is transparent. You can see it. But when she gets dragged off,
yeah,
there's no, you can't see the wire as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a great
how
effect.
They do that?
My sister used to tell me that when it first cut to that, everyone in the cinema just went nuts.
Really?
Like, scared the shit out of everyone. But it is such a crazy image, and I think people say that it the whole concept of a body bag anyway just does you in on so many levels.
I think as the movie progresses, you begin to question what's reality and what's a dream.
Yep.
And near the beginning, it's very, very clear she's now in a dream world because we know we just saw her fall asleep.
Yeah, look at that. That's so good. The way her arm just sort of flops out.
Yeah. It's that typical hallway in a school, very much like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Where you've got the rows of lockers.
Yeah. She's got the Freddy jumper. He's such a bastard.
Well, Robert Englund, he'd come from the TV show V.
Yeah. Okay,
which I never saw.
Blew my mind.
My friends always talk. My friend who had come over from South Africa, who was telling me about this TV show in like 1990, and I was like, "It sounds amazing. Why have I never seen this? This was a show from years ago."
Yeah.
I just never saw it.
Yeah, early 80s. Yeah, V. I remember watching that on TV. Me and my dad used to watch it religiously. He used to love it. And so Robert Englund played a nice alien in that, like one of the resistant aliens, and who was like really sweet and lovely. And so when I found out that he was playing Freddy Krueger, it blew my mind. I think it's probably one of the first times I realised how good actors are. How they're not what you see them doing on screen. They are something else, and they can do. They can change their hands to anything, because Freddy Krueger is so different from the role he played in V. It's unbelievable.
Apparently, Robert Englund's one of those guys who would talk to you to death. He'd like people sit in makeup chairs and with him, and he'd just talk and talk and talk and talk.
Yeah,
and it's full of stories.
Yeah.
He's full of Mountain Dew.
It's just.
But it's the way he kind of walks as well and how he holds himself. It's so much different than how he portrays himself with the sequels. I think obviously he redefines the character.
Yeah.
Refines it, as he does more of the sequels. And do you think some of the threat was taken away from Freddy with the sequels? Did he become more wisecracking?
100%. Yeah. No, he. I mean, really, the one that I guess it's kind of like the Terminator 2 effect. The one that does something different and great with it also sets a precedent that everyone thinks that's how it should be now. And Nightmare 3, I think, is the one that kind of went slightly different with the whole. Turned the whole thing into, even though there was still horror elements to it, and there were some horrific things in Nightmare 3, but it kind of played up the slightly more fun and adventurous side of the whole thing, which is what made it different and cool. But then after that, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, no, Freddy needs to be funny now," and it's like,
it became each director that jumped onto the sequels was like trying to outdo the other with the dream sequences. It wasn't doing more elaborate, more crazy. And I think Rennie Harlin probably did some of the most impressive ones.
Yeah,
with the girl jumps into the screen. That great split screen as she lands into the film.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I love 3. I love when Freddy's head comes out the TV and
prime time, bitch. And I remember as a kid being freaked out with the guy with the veins.
Oh, that's the vein marionette.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I remember everyone talking about that. That was a thing that everyone talked about, because everyone hated the second one. So when the third one came out and people were like, "Yes, the third one's really good." It was It was a thing. People talked about it.
The second one, it kind of broke some of the rules, didn't it? Where Freddy came into the real world, and he goes, "You are now all my children," and things like that, and that kind of it broke the rules, which I don't think it pleased many of the fans. I think once you sort of set the groundwork, then deviate very quickly. It's just like, well, you're not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was very early on, they felt they could change the rules. I don't know.
Well, I don't think they really gave a shit. I think that's, and I think people pretty much admit that worked on it, because they pushed the sequel out really quickly.
They did, yeah,
really fast. I don't think the script was anywhere
enough,
near
really.
ready.
No.
And they just went for it, and they just brought in anyone that would do it, in that sort of time frame.
As of all films, in these little scenarios, they go, "What happened?" And they never explain, never tell you the simplest, description of what happened. It's always like, something was there, like, I could have stopped it. It's like,
no. What? Yeah. It was a thing. It was a thing, and
drag on the ceiling.
Just walk me through step by step what you saw.
Yeah.
It's like, but it was a thing, and it's like, no. Yeah, but what did you see? How? We can try and work this out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's movie.
It's like when someone sees like a creature or something, they go, "It was no man." What did you see? What did you see?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, it wasn't.
Don't know what I saw, but it was no man.
Something else,
but why? How? What makes you think? What makes you say that?
Yeah, multiple arms.
Yeah,
Come on,
no, exactly.
Help me here.
Yep. No. Dramatic line readings are more important than
Yeah.
realism in
It's just
horror
doing
movies.
to piss off the audience.
This is cool, because this is the moment where she realises they're all dreaming about the same guy.
Yeah. It'd already been hinted at earlier, hadn't she? That they both shared the same dream.
Yeah.
Her and her friend who had just died. Now, Johnny Depp's character hasn't had these dreams yet.
No.
He's like, "Oh, I slept like a log last night."
Yeah.
He says later on, and then he's like,
yeah.
"Oh, I can't sleep," when they're on the bridge and he's having like a burger. But I think Johnny Depp's death is a bit of a cop-out. You never see his dream sequence. He just falls in this hole in the bed.
Yeah.
And always, like, blood just comes out like Tizer or something. Now, this is another iconic scene.
This is so iconic.
Yeah. Or that's that character. Cut you right between your legs. I think everyone will wince, I think.
Yeah. So there was actually a guy in the bath with her. So I think they were in there for like 45 minutes. He said, just, with her feet on my shoulders and me just sort of underneath her. There we go. It's like, all right, Heather, we're just going to put the camera here. Is that okay? It was cool. You can imagine everyone in the cinemas just, screaming at these moments.
Oh, God, yeah. Because so many people just sat in the bath, just dozing off and thinking something's going to come up,
Yeah.
Warm milk's not gross. Mad woman.
But yeah, it's such a great concept. I mean, you take it for granted now, but you literally, it's like, what can you do? You've got to sleep sometime.
And sometimes you don't know you've dozed off. You're just completely
exactly.
unaware.
And sometimes, you can't stop yourself.
You can't stop yourself, no. It looks bottomless. It's great because I think they covered it with loads of black sheets so you can't see the sort of depth of it all. But
that Freddy Krueger laugh, oh man.
But it's also like she's hearing us. If she came in now, would she see her being pulled into the bath, into the depth of the bath, or would she just be kind of flinging around?
You'd probably see her like just being drowned in the bath. It probably wouldn't be. It probably doesn't change, the real things around, but her being her, she would. It's like when her friend dies, you don't see Freddy, but Freddy's obviously like playing with her in the dream, so she's flipping around. But But that's what I would imagine. I mean, the rules are you can start, it's like Gremlins. You can start picking them apart. Really, but they all sort of make sense as you watch the film, and it all follows a logic that you kind of get. Which is all very important for the setup of the finale of how she's planning on getting him.
The whole Home Alone trick. Well, it's Home Alone. It was inspired by from this,
Yeah. But was she?
I love this because she's watching Evil Dead 1.
This is the Wes Craven, Sam Raimi shenanigans.
Yeah,
where they kept throwing each other's
and the glove. Freddy's glove is in Evil Dead 2 in the tool shed.
Yep, and in Evil Dead 1, there's a ripped up poster of Hills Have Eyes.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Johnny.
I don't think there's all the documentaries I've seen on Elm Street. Johnny Depp's never been interviewed and probably doesn't do interviews that often.
No, but he has talked about it.
Yeah, he's cameoed it. He cameoed in Freddy's Dead. I think,
right.
Like he got like a pie in the face or something. Or something like that. It was on TV. It's like a TV news report or something like that.
But he mentioned it in when he was doing Inside the Actor Studio.
Oh right.
And he talks about it there. And he's Wes Craven always said he always had nice things to say about the experience. Yeah, I don't think he's like shunned it or anything. He just doesn't talk about things a lot. Doesn't do interviews a lot.
I also had a couple of friends who said, I can control my dreams. And you go, right, okay, how do you do that then? You kind of write down what you're dreaming about each time for like a week or something. Then you can kind of control what your thoughts are when you dream. But I don't know. I think you should just for me, it's always, when you do dream, it's always something you've been watching that day that kind of gets into your mind, or something you've eaten that sends you fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, but I'm praying for the day I have a dream that is even vaguely sensible. I mean, my dreams are just nuts. They're just out there. It's like nothing. There's never a moment where I'm like, oh, was that a dream? And I was like, of course it was a dream because you were talking to your mate and then suddenly it turned into a giant panda. So so of course it was a dream.
I also had dreams where, like, when I was younger, like when I was working and studying was all mixed together. Like it was like a corridor away.
Right. Yeah.
They all kind of, there's no passage of time.
Yeah. One of my favourite dream sequences is in Blackadder 3.
Oh yeah,
Blackadder dreams that Dr. Johnson's asked him to throw the dictionary on the fire, but he just says, "I love you, Dr. Johnson. I want to have your babies." Then he turns around and goes, "But who gave you permission to turn into an Alsatian?" Oh, it's a dream, isn't it? It's a bloody dream. I love it.
Now this is always a little bit. Now this is where it falls into what's reality, and what's a dream.
Yeah,
because you think, okay, she's got out of the house, and he's gonna be keeping an eye to see what happens, and sort of. But it's also implied that she's fallen asleep, and he's gonna wake her up. But now it's like within this dream, he's there. He's with there, her.
Yeah. But I always took that as that's he's not. He didn't dream that.
No,
that
she's dreaming that he's there.
That's just her.
Then she's going to go over,
reinsuring her.
She's going to go over to the police station and see her friend. Well, see Freddie approach her friend in the cell.
Yeah.
Then obviously he goes charging after her. Then she wakes up, and then they go running over to the station, and then he's about to get hanged.
Yeah.
So this is her theory, isn't it?
Yeah.
If what she sees in a dream is going to happen.
Yep. So I think there's a school of thought that the whole thing is a precognitive dream that she's having.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing is I think people throw up all kinds of theories about this film based on how it ends, but the fact is the ending really is just Bob Che wanted a sequel, and that's it.
Yeah.
Wes Craven's original ending was she defeats him and it's over.
Yeah.
But
it's
then
at
the end you have
the Freddy car,
still a dream. Yeah, the Freddy car
and the sort of sex doll getting pulled through a door,
which is brilliant.
It's so bad, that bit. This is like quite cool optical as well. Cause the it doesn't look. There's still retains its colour.
Yeah,
it's nice.
For the time that again, like I say, as a low budget non-ILM film. Look the way he looks up at her. It is disturbing.
Oh. Glenn's fucking useless, isn't he?
Yes.
He falls asleep within a space of 15 minutes.
Yeah, she can't rely on anybody.
No. There is a lot of pratfalling from like Freddy.
Oh yeah.
It's not. He doesn't. He's a bit of a clumsy arse as well.
Yeah,
just tripping over things and just like. He's doing his best to scare her by just like that sort of approach. Oh, feet in the porridge.
Gloop.
I think the composer said he composed a score because they didn't have any money left, and they couldn't have a symphonic score. So he said, "I'll just do it all in my house."
Yeah,
and just basically did the whole, took Wes Craven's sort of nursery rhyme and just played with that and added a melody and went from there. There's a lot of like rolling over beds and furniture with him. Knee him in the bollocks. I think she said like she'd always asked him, "Is this the sharp glove?" Because there'd be a rubber one, plastic one, whatever, one that's kind of blunt and one that was sharp, and they forgot. Oh, sorry, they forgot to change it.
Yeah, because she rolls around with that thing right close to her face a lot.
They said even when like Robert Englund would close his hand, the blades would cut into your wrist.
Yeah.
So you had to, not do that too often. I think maybe they adjusted the glove, just sort of so it wouldn't do that, or maybe just became more self-aware not to do that.
Well, I'm sure they.
What did you do?
When he first starts, when they first start, designing it and putting it on him, it would probably they'd figure out all those kinks as they were.
I love how our mother just hides booze around the house.
Yeah, just booze like everywhere.
Like the awning cupboard, so all the towels are. She pulls this bottle of water. What is it? Like schnapps or something? I don't know. Bottle of vodka. Blue Nun or something.
But and it's a real tale of sins of the parents.
Oh yeah. It's a shame that like Glenn's parents, where his mum's like quite sensible and like seems normal, but her husband or his father, Glenn's father, is a bit of an arse. It's also that as we were saying earlier about these teenagers cannot trust the parents.
Yeah,
they obviously the parents won't believe them on what's going on. Even the authorities, like the police, don't believe them. Yeah. And at the end, when she's screaming for help, the guy's just like, "Don't worry, got everything in hand. It's fine."
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
until it starts burning down, he's like, "I better go get some help."
but it's funny. I think when you find it frustrating, because you know what's going on. But when you do look at it all from the adult's point of view, they're actually behaving as you would probably expect them to.
Yes.
Just without the knowledge that there is actually a supernatural boogeyman jumping around people's dreams trying to kill them.
She's got piercing blue eyes, hasn't she? They've got quite a dark blue, actually. See, that's another side of the complete disorganised as well. What happened to keys? And there's no officer down there keeping an eye on them.
Exactly.
It's in case one of them does attempt to hang themselves.
So because now you're like, well, is he awake now or what?
So they didn't see him getting pulled up, which would have made them think. Now they think, oh, he's
exactly. If they see that, then it's all different. But from their point of view, he's just hung himself. I mean, there's no other explanation.
He can deal with the guilt.
Yeah,
in their eyes.
He's dead, Jim. Yeah, this music used to really get under your skin as well. Charles Bernstein, the composer.
Well, this one.
Yeah.
What else did he do? He's not related to Elmer Bernstein.
He's his son.
Oh, his son?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I saw him conduct a concert with his dad's music with John Landis.
Shit.
Yeah, at the Royal Albert Hall. But he did.
Did he do Ghostbusters? Didn't he?
Did.
Yeah.
Elmer Bernstein did. Yeah. Well, I mean, Elmer Bernstein's an originator of the kind of scores we love. Yeah, with Magnificent Seven and Great Escape. So apparently, Wes Craven decided on red and green in of Freddy's sweater, the stripes, because they're the colours that clash the most, that the human eye can't deal with.
Yeah, it's like these microphone muffs.
Just like our microphone muffs right here. Yeah, yep. Officially, Ollie and my muffs are clashing.
Oh dear.
Sorry about that. That was uncalled for.
The character Freddy comes from a kid who bullied Wes at school.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sort of the creepy character nature is like when Wes.
And look, there's Roger Rabbit.
Yay! And he's at a Zodiac as well. I remember Zodiac.
Yeah. And and he said there was a homeless guy as well that was staring up at his window.
Yeah.
He looked. Yeah.
It's that thought of someone just standing there staring at you at night time. You've got like this kind of the light of the moon or like a street lamp lighting them.
Well, the idea that you then look out that window and he's just there doing it, and you're like, and you don't know how long he's been staring up at you. You're like, Christ. Weirdo.
Also, where she pulls the hat out of the dream, doesn't she?
Yeah. Because she saw the feather when he's ripping the pillows apart and there's all feathers going everywhere, and then when she wakes up, she looks, you just see that one feather floating out the window.
Yeah.
So she, it's really, it's nicely, subtly sort of done that she's realising this is something that you can do.
Did you ever look into Peter Jackson's early concept for, I think it was Freddy, was it 5 or 6? I think he was going to do.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, I believe his concept was like kids had basically found out about Freddy and they go into their dreams on purpose just to bully him and beat up Freddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that is sounding familiar.
Yeah, and then one kid, Freddy managed to get his revenge, and one kid is obviously not strong enough, and then he gets his strength.
So he gets his strength back.
Yeah, I thought it was I think it's quite a clever concept.
That's great.
Yeah, because it needed. I think it was clear that Peter's eyes that they needed to bring back the horror of Freddy.
Yeah,
where it became just this.
Yeah. To become a joke.
And each director trying to outdo each other with the dream sequences, and it's more elaborate and.
But
impressive.
the thing is also this is a period where sequels were accepted as diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Box office wise,
it wasn't a Star Wars film or possibly a big franchise thing.
No, exactly. So they knew that they were just milking these things for as long as they could. Just doing, going a bit nuts with them just to give it something, a hook for people to want to go and see another one.
And the video market was, at this point, was becoming so big that
huge.
You couldn't ignore that.
Yeah.
And sequels were the easiest way to get a quick profit.
Absolutely. And it's almost like the video shops were invented for kids' Friday night sleepovers.
Yeah,
and renting out horror films. That's why horror films did so well on video. Because that's what we would do as kids. Just everyone just turn up. Because
we'd always get like the latest big release of just a blockbuster movie starring whatever action star, and then at my rental store you get a £2 movie for free.
Right.
So we choose a horror, and I was based just on the cover.
Yep.
And you choose the most disgusting cover you can find, and it actually ends up being one of the worst.
The film would never live up to that.
I saw
cover.
A film called Hell. It was Hellgate. It was fucking terrible, but the poster, the cover was just this rotting skull. It just looked amazing.
They used to have amazing covers to these
Wasn't there a film
really crap films,
like a horror film called Ambulance or something.
Ambulance.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's like.
It wouldn't surprise me. They were doing everything. They were
the floor buffer or something.
Beware the mop.
The mop. Yeah. This summer, beware of the oven.
Hey, Toby Hooper did the Mangler.
Mangler.
Be subtle about it, Mum.
I wish it was like special brew she drinks or something like that. 4-pack of tinnies,
Yeah, she's over-egging that a bit, isn't she?
I recall in my youth, if you smoke cannabis before you go to bed, you don't really dream. So they never played on that in the movies. They could have had a pothead get away with it. Actually, no, they did have a pothead character in Freddy vs. Jason. And he's this kind of like worm thing come along.
Yeah, that's right.
And he starts smoking as well. Yeah. It's like, don't really dream.
Well, yeah, they could have done that. It would have just been added to my theory that
it would have been
cannabis just makes everything more boring.
No, it doesn't. The Canadians are quite lucky now, aren't they? So it's all been legalised.
Yeah.
Who the fuck writes their name in their clothes?
Like
your mum would write your name in your swimming trunks or something.
Freddy Krueger,
or your jacket.
The child's dungeon, but bottom of the school.
This is my hat. It's I don't think people tend to write their names and stuff. I might have started writing my name in my bloody hoodies and stuff because my sisters pinch them. So what are you doing with that?
Why will that stop them from pinching it?
Probably not. I don't know.
I'll just put his name in this one. Now.
I saw my sister walking around one time. She was like, she's wearing my Nuclear Man t-shirt. I said, Rachel, that's not yours, is it? She goes, oh, it was in my bedroom. Doesn't mean
just assumed that she at some point had bought herself a Nuclear Man t-shirt. It's like, and she's living in the house with you. And it's like, come on, whose do you really think it is?
I bet they would have been done quite well actually those days if they had like Red Bull or things like that or Monster drinks.
Yeah.
That'll keep you awake for a while.
Absolutely, but then you just have all the kids dying of heart attacks.
Just like I've got irregular heartbeat.
Yeah,
I've got major diarrhea from all this Red Bull.
Just be this scene of doctors telling them you can't if you have one more piece of caffeine going in your body, it's over.
I think my friend, I'm sure it was my friend Paul. He had taken a photograph. He sent me of all these Monster cans he'd drunk and all different designs, all different colours they had, and I was like, Paul, you don't really want to show this off, mate, to be honest. You don't want to tell people how unhealthy you are.
Yeah, it's not a good advert for...
It's not something to be proud of, mate. It's like all students would have, you'd walk past student accommodation, you'd always look at you see the windows, would be have all bottles all lined up?
Yeah.
All the alcohol they've drunk. It's like, great, yeah, advertise yourself as an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, that becomes a problem when you realise how much you've drunk and you're like, oh god. Yeah. But
this is a great moment here where she's kind of sowing the seeds now of her trying to think of ways to sort of stay asleep and home invasion kind of tactics to combat Freddy. But it's so the passage of time though when she says later on, "Oh, come round my house on me at 12:30, Dad, to wake me up." Yeah. And she managed to set up this elaborate thing.
All this stuff up.
About what, 20 minutes, and then still managed to fall asleep. I think.
See, I can remember the trailers in the cinema for this. Which would always open with.
Saw a trailer for this in a cinema.
Yeah.
They would have. They showed this before a PG.
Yeah. Well, they would have their PG rated trailers.
Oh right.
And they're U rated trailers for horror films. And
show you anything, wouldn't
they? Yeah. Exactly. The 80s, man, it was cool. And and I just remember the trailer starting. And it was her putting up that big bloody mallet thing, and the voicer goes, "Nancy's being a good girl. Nancy's getting ready to go to sleep."
It's like so funny. Gets hit by that mallet.
Yeah, I know. So it's hilarious.
It all becomes like a bit comical at that point, doesn't it? It's a fucking wacky fun house.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
trying to run away from Pat Sharp
and the twins. But so yeah, this is another like how quickly did she manage to get all these bars up around the house?
Yeah. I mean, fucking that. If this was in England, they'd be like a week Thursday. Is that right for you? You know.
Oh yeah, no, I can't fit you in this week.
Yeah,
we can send someone around to. But I think again, it's kind of a film license, the condensing time a little bit, where you kind of do things quicker, but you assume that in reality, this bit probably happened over a couple of days as opposed to her coming home that night, So, I think this is you play with time a lot when you're writing stories. And trying to.
Oh, you do. I think the rules of cinema. You're sort of fast and loose with time.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that her mother kept the glove as sort of this kind of souvenir.
Yeah, I
keeps
know.
It in this kind of
it's right, just in case one day we have to explain this to our kids. Well, let's keep the glove. But I was, as you know, I'm a theme park nut, and one of my favourite things ever is the Halloween Horror Nights at Universal in Florida.
Right.
And they did one of the years I went, they had this thing where you queued up in a drive-in, and you walked, and there was a big driving screen showing this and Texas Chainsaw and Friday the 13th.
Wow.
And there was like a split in the screen, and you went into that split.
Oh wow.
And then you were in different houses. So suddenly you're at Cape Crystal Lake, and then when I figured this out, as soon as we went through a door and we were in this basement, like that, I just yelled out, "Freddy! I know you're gonna jump out any moment, Freddy!" And then suddenly the guy jumps out and goes, "Here I am!" It was great. Love it.
Did you run?
Love it. Yes. Screamed like a little kitty girl. Okay,
I
here
remember
we
he
go.
falls asleep, doesn't he, with the TV on his lap. Those TVs would have weighed a ton.
Yeah.
Being really hot. There's nuclear balls.
Yeah.
Now that
Those
top's
earphones.
a bit.
Yeah, that.
bit
Yeah,
short,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is This was a moment in the 80s that I expect him to be running down a beach in slow motion with Sylvester Stallone and Carl Weathers.
I think if I wore something like that in my teenage years, my dad would say, "Oliver, you got something to tell me?"
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Can you imagine?
I don't think I could have a phone like that in my bedroom as growing up, because as soon as because it was all linked together, so you'd
So if anyone rang your mum,
you'd get it in
you'd
your
get
bedroom.
it, yeah.
So just it's horrible ringtone,
yeah,
waking you up.
yeah.
But that was the coolest thing. That would have been the coolest thing though for teenagers to have a phone in their room plus a TV and stuff. Because some people I knew never had a TV growing up in their bedroom, and I was like, oh, you missed out on so many cool movies to watch at Channel 4 late at night.
Falling asleep. Yeah,
I saw Hellraiser 2 when I was like
sort of
10.
waking up in the
Scared
early
shit out of
hours
me.
and TV's still on, and there's just some horror film playing.
Yeah.
I think this is something that's kind of lost now. Because you still had back in those days this whole late night horror session on TV and things like that, where they'd be playing things like Frankenstein and the real old Universal films and black and white things, and so you always had this there's just an atmosphere.
New time
about
slots
those.
will be on for the horrors in the evenings.
Yeah,
and if you had cable or satellite, you know a specific channel.
Yeah,
where you could find those classic B movies to watch, or just 80s horror.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we're now stuck with gambling. Programs late at night.
Yeah,
and just watching these poor people whittle away their income on these crappy game shows.
Yeah,
it's not the same, is it? If I was controlling a TV network, I'd be like, right, we're going back to the past. We're going to put horror movies on in the evening.
Like Friday nights,
kids' cartoons in the morning.
Yep. Oh man. Oh,
screw Holmes
mornings.
screw Holmes under the hammer, or whatever it is. Whip off Britain. We're putting on fucking Thundercats. Right?
Home repair shop or whatever. Look at that hair, Johnny.
God, it's like a bum. It's massive, poofy centre parting. Just stays. There's no. Actually, this is the 80s. There doesn't seem to be any overdose on hair products. Like the New Romantic style.
Yeah.
I think the sequels. I think they try and have a bit more of that with their costume designs or with the teenagers.
Yeah, I think it gets a bit more. This is 84.
Yeah.
So
New Romantics is already big.
Yeah.
It's actually probably dwindling at this point. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's kind of a throw on from the 70s, really.
Yeah. No, it's not. Fuck off. Get out. Don't take the coffee.
Don't take the coffee.
There's bugger all in it anyway.
Yeah, I always remember as a kid. I remember falling asleep one time and The Shining was on, and I woke up just in time for the smash cut to Jack Nicholson's frozen face. So I literally woke up and looked, and there was Jack Nicholson grinning at me through. Yeah. I scared the life out of me.
Oh, she's got hidden supply of coffee. That's right.
Yeah.
I always kind of just realised when I watched this again recently, because it seems like our parents are separated, aren't they?
Yeah.
John Saxon doesn't. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, he's never at home.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually quite a good point, because I don't. It's never said, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
But I think it's just alluded to.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially not up at schoolgirls' windows.
Yeah.
You weirdo.
You big pev. He's a bit of a Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
That's his whole character, isn't he? Did your parents ever say that? Don't hang around with this kid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had a friend at school that was deemed a bad influence on me.
Oh, no.
Which he wasn't really, but looking at it from their point of view, I can see where they were coming from now as an adult. And I was kind of asked not to hang around with him anymore. He ended up getting expelled anyway. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, naughty boy.
But that's kind of an obvious thing, isn't it? You know, this kid's a bad, whereas this is just, no, I don't like her.
Yeah,
She's behaving a bit odd.
She's a little bit centric.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be their nod to The Shining, isn't it? When the blood, all just
and that's done on the Upside Down set.
That's right.
And but apparently so much water came out that I think one of the sparks got electrocuted because of all the water that was coming out. There you go. And then, no. See, that's a classic moment. It's like, no, you've just signed your son's death warrant by doing that.
I like with her bedroom, it's not a thoroughly girly bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just everything's pink.
Yeah.
You know, they did in many of these films. There's a few bits of pink there.
It's like they would design the bedrooms to make sure you knew it was a girl's bedroom without a girl being in it.
Yeah.
It's like, but every time we go there, there's going to be a girl in it. Right, so now this... How does this work?
Yeah. Is she now dreaming?
Is he able to get to her through his dream, you know? Yeah.
This is where it becomes where it's never answered, but it's left for interpretation.
But I don't mind it.
It
doesn't bother me. To me, it's not that egregious. It's because he can't actually physically do anything. You know, it's all just kind of mental torture and weird imagery.
Is that because he's killed a number of kids now? His strength has increased.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way.
So he has more power.
So he's able to, as long as someone's dreaming about
affect
him,
reality.
He can sort of get to them. Because what you're probably thinking here is, this is a classic moment. But the way
a meatball,
the way you probably think about this is that he's not actually, like, if you were standing there watching her, that phone wouldn't be ringing and you wouldn't see that tongue come out. That it's kind of he's affecting her brain, not actually what's physically around her. That he's making her hallucinate. Lock.
It's like the moment in Poltergeist where you hear that ending message.
Yeah, the end of the national anthem, and then I love Poltergeist. Here we go. Woo! That's like the way that all the wires going with
There's
him.
a quick edit there. Did you see that?
Yeah,
because Johnny would have had a TV and clogged him on the head.
Yeah. Here we go.
The world fell out my arse. That's the kind of moment, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Deli belly there.
Yeah. It is really it's very simply weird imagery.
It is, yeah. See the blood? It's like it's all dripping to the left. So it's like the set is...
yeah, and you see that, and you can see it all going that way because they're rotating the set round. You won't need a stretcher up there. You need a mop.
Well, it has. Was it? Then I say even the coroner turns up and he's like puking in the toilet.
Yeah. No.
Or forensics, or whatever.
I just love this style of 80s lighting, nighttime.
Well, you can actually see what's going on because they often have films so dark you can't actually see what's happening. By this point they already had the lenses that could capture low light very well, which is used in things like Escape from New York.
Music gets a bit Carpenter-esque
a little bit, yeah.
That would be an amazing ending to this movie. She wakes up and Kruger suddenly just gets arrested, taken away in handcuffs.
He's meddling kids.
Yeah. Fred Krueger, you're under arrest.
It's like a Scooby-Doo moment.
Yeah, I would have got away with it too.
Wait, like, I think it was like Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. It does become a little bit of a Looney Tunes cartoon with the sketches where he's got the. Doesn't he push out this thing in the middle of the road to cut the tyres of this?
Yeah, I can't.
This vehicle. It's often trying to remember which dream sequence.
I don't even know if I've seen that one all the way through.
With, which movie? They churned them out fast, didn't they? They on one a year, I think it was.
I remember the one where she turns into a cockroach.
That's number 4.
Is that number 4? Is that the Rennie Harley one?
Yeah. That's one with the pizza as well.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Stephen Hopkins did number 5. That's one of the sort of comic book moment it has.
That's Was that Dream Child? Is that Dream Child?
Yeah.
Where it's her unborn kid having the dreams about Freddy.
That's right. Yeah. Number 3 has got the great song. Dream Warriors. Great song. Come on, you've got to put some Micro Machines down.
It's like she's.
Where'd she get the shotgun shells?
Maybe her dad's got shotguns.
Yeah, maybe. But
I mean that's something you just really can't do in films set in England.
No. Okay, but
getting out.
What would we use?
Domestic.
You could use a mallet like that. You could find something like that.
Mallet. I just want Timmy Mallet to turn up. I want someone to put this online and put in the Mallet's kaboom jing noise when he comes down. Again, only a certain amount of people will know what we're talking about there. But I mean, what would you use?
You could use like in Home Alone, like with the paint, but then you've got to, it's got to be swing down to hit him.
Well, if we set it around late October, early November, then you can have fireworks.
Oh yeah,
emptying gunpowder from fireworks.
Do what Mr. Bean did: take all the bangers out of a cracker and put them all into one. Get him to pull it. Boom. You could push him into a bath and throw a toaster in it.
Like the old James Bond trick.
Feed him like some like poorly cooked chicken that's been microwaved, reheated,
food poisoning,
make him eat, then run away from him for about 30 minutes. I think that will probably hit him. He'll begin to slow down a bit. On the stomach cramps.
Oh God, I want to make that movie. So yeah, the unrealistic moonlight that you used to get on all these movies doesn't bother me.
Not at all. This is great. Stylish, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I love it.
Cold blues I have. But also implies that the moon is fucking massive.
Yeah.
They would do that in films, don't they? What's that the moon to be ginormous? It's like, what? Someone always says, if you go further to the equator, it's actually the moon's bigger. No, it's bloody not. Fucking madman.
It all depends on where the moon's orbit is. Because there was a period where it was not that long ago where it was kind of the closest to us it's been for.
Yeah, so the moon ends up being 10% bigger.
Yeah, and it was, and you could tell.
Yeah,
but that happens like every 120 years.
That's the image, isn't it? They used in a lot of the poster designs.
Yeah, I think that's what Graham
used. Had their eyes closed.
Yeah.
Oh, Graham did the poster for the upcoming 80s horror doc.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Fantastic job on that.
Yeah, he's a good sort. He's a good chap, Graham. I can't wait to work with him again. Now I do consider this to have one of the greatest jump scares in movie history, and that is when she thinks
behind the bed.
Yeah, where she doesn't think it's worked, and then suddenly he just launches up. Popcorn everywhere.
You've seen the Mr. Bean sketch where he goes to see Elm Street. I think it's Elm Street 5.
God, yeah.
Yeah, and he's trying to scare everyone before the film starts. As soon as it starts, he's terrified.
Straight away.
And the popcorn's everywhere.
It's like there's no build up as well. Just as soon as it starts, he's just gone.
It's one of the greatest sketches. So because his girlfriend, she puts her jacket on, like just over her shoulders, and he grabs the arm of the jacket, but there's no hand in it. He's like, ah! Fucking great.
God, yeah. That's kind of early memories of the first sort of multiplexes as well. There'd be like Nightmare on Elm Street 5 would be on one of the little
yeah, they always bang on the little ones, don't they?
Yeah,
those horror movies.
Because it'd been out for.
If it was a Canon cinema, they'd put their schlock on the big screen.
Yeah,
I remember one of the managers I used to work for. He worked for Canon. And he said the latest awful action movie or whatever they put on the big screen, and the most popular film by a big Hollywood distributor would be on a tiny screen. So it'd be an empty screen showing Cyborg, and then the other ones at the tiny screen filled watching Fatal Attraction or something,
like The Mission or something.
Yeah. Well, she's out of because you've only had, only her and her friend be in the dream, and you see them interacting with Freddy, where her friend was terrified of Freddy, where she's kind of very much stood up to him.
Yeah.
Very early on, where she's just like, you're not real. This is a dream.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She is set up, really well to be a strong. A more of a logical, sort of character that you could believe would rise above all of this and get and stop being scared.
Isn't she like a sort of psychiatrist come the third one, isn't she? She helps the kids with their with her dreams.
She has therapy sessions with the kids who can't sleep.
She dies, doesn't she, at the end of the third one?
Yeah.
Sacrifice herself.
third one's got that awesome sort of Ray Harryhausen style skeleton, Kruger's skeleton that comes to life.
That's right. Yeah. I remember, and Freddy comes back in the fourth one. I think a dog just pisses on his corpse or whatever, and he comes back to life.
Right, yeah, that's right.
And I think it was one of his directors had said to like New Line, so how do you bring Freddy back this time? And Benny Harlan's like, a dog pisses on him. It's like, you know.
Oh God.
Well, that's what, you know. Elm Street 4 made Rennie Harlin a big name.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was Rennie,
very successful film.
Rennie Harlin had, I think he was kind of broken.
Yeah, he was.
Nothing.
Yeah, he's just, you know, living like a bum.
They said
basically.
that he kept, and I think he
just loitered around.
He got himself that gig. He insisted.
Yeah,
like they weren't really interested, and he just sort of didn't let go. Which is a nice lesson. And then he left that when I think pretty much went straight on to Die Hard 2.
I think there's.
Was there anything?
It was a couple of years later. I think it was. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, that's a great leap, you know.
Die Hard, because Die Hard 2 came out in 1990.
Did she put the crash mat there? It's a massive crash mat they're going to try to hide there. No, Casio watch would not do that. It would not tell you.
It's just like we've suddenly gone into bloody, Thunderbirds or something with like watches that talk to you. It's like they didn't do that back then. Here we go. So this is a classic moment.
Bait and switch, isn't it?
Yeah, so well set up. Wait for it. Yeah. It's so good. Here we go. Now he's.
He goes all the.
I guess now because he's in the real world.
Slapstick kicks in there.
Yeah, he's in the real world now, so he can't handle physical things. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger coming out of the screen in Last Action Hero. You know, things hurt now. You'd be like, no.
There we go.
Here we go.
Oh, my thorax.
Oof. Oh, now he falls down the stairs. Boom. There he is.
Oh, this is great with the bulb. It's so funny. Oh. Apparently, I think when a stuntman in the moment when he sets himself on fire, it's one of the longest takes of someone being on fire at the time.
I think it is. Yeah,
and because he goes up the stairs and then falls down the stairs.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Everyone's sort of panicking, with the guy. He's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "How'd it go?" He's all like, totally cool with it.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so this is a hell of a burn. Look at it.
Yeah.
And again, low budget movie, and you're doing this. Boom.
So funny because it's clear as it becomes a stuntman when it becomes smaller and a bit more chubbier.
Exactly, yeah. So he's got like about 20 layers extra on him. fire footsteps.
God, that flame there. See the flame?
Yeah, I know.
It's licking up, up the side.
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
she's like jumping around them.
This is really good when you see her body just get taken away.
Yeah.
This other
It's
dimension.
really creepy, isn't it? It's really. It's real sort of haunted house stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell was that?
You'd probably just faint if you saw that. You'd be like,
Yeah. Okay, now what are you thinking, John Saxon?
He scratches his head, his wig comes off. You know. Well, that's the way to defeat Freddy, wasn't it? Was always to say to him, you know, I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
And his powers are completely diminished.
Mm. So he comes rising up out of the bed, and he like, here we go.
So he's lit so
Yeah.
like in shadow.
Yeah.
You can barely see the makeup.
But it's really good.
That, you know, they didn't have to shoot this ending with implying that he's gonna come back. You know, that image, that moment there when he disappears, still leaves it open. Doesn't mean he's,
exactly. It's like if he can disappear like that, or you know, he can reappear. Surely
for a sequel, they can
when
just
someone
have
gives him the energy,
just getting his strength back.
I think they want. I think Bob Che wanted
a bit on the nose of it. I suppose.
But he wanted the audience to leave, you know, with a kick,
a twist, twist ending.
Yeah.
He said most horrors kind of always did that, you know, have a sort of twist ending, and not have this kind of everything's wrapped up, nice and neatly.
Which often sort of, you know, which quite often I would take or leave, you know. I'd be like, in my own little head canon, I'd be like, yeah, that didn't really happen. Here we go.
This is a great moment coming up.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's so good.
And then fade out. Leave all those teenagers going back out into the night, terrified.
Everyone's singing that.
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
It still works, I think. I think it's.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Would you say it's one of the greatest horror movies of the 80s, or?
Yeah. I would. I'd put it up there as particularly of the kind of the slasher brand.
Yeah.
I would probably say it could very well be my favourite.
Right.
I mean, obviously Halloween has its place, and I've made that clear how I feel about that film many times. But I think I don't know. I just think the concept of Freddy Krueger is so damn good. So it's such a neat little, for something that deals with supernatural and that, there's nothing convoluted about it. It is, you get it straight away. As I was saying, everyone is scared of not being under control when you sleep, and everyone gets that idea, and the idea of something that can come into your dreams and get you that way. Yeah, it's just such a genius premise.
Yeah, takes a familiar formula and gives it a new twist.
Yeah,
with a nugget of a new idea. To it.
Yeah,
which is get attacked in your dreams. And Sean Cunningham, because he directed Friday the 13th, didn't he?
Right.
So I think he did second unit on this.
Yeah. Right.
Additional stuff. But I think if I saw this as a kid, I probably would have been terrified at like many kids were and teenagers were. But as looking upon it as an adult, it's like many of these classic films that people regard as the greatest horror movies ever made. When you see them as an adult, it doesn't really have the same effect.
They're all a bit silly, really. When you watch it as an adult. But also when I think even adults watched these movies when they first came out and found them amazing and terrifying. I don't think it's just. I think it's just we know them now and we're familiar with them now, and that's that. But at the time when, like I say, that concept comes at you, and that image of Freddy is just it's just so iconic, and it just blew your mind really at the time. But now it's it's cliche. Everyone knows it.
Exactly. Well, everyone, that is the end of the commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. Me and Brad will be back with some more very soon.
Happy Halloween.